Teachers are leaving education because parents don't take accountability. Somewhere along the line, we need to wake up and realize that teachers are leaving education because they can't do it alone.
Teachers are quitting, they're leaving the classroom, and the question is why? Why is it that they're leaving? And I've been seeing a number of videos around this, and I'm curious on what your thoughts are. Check out the videos and let me know what you think.
The students think out loud nonstop. That's the only way I can describe it. And I keep saying to them, that's not talking, that's thinking. You're just thinking and you're saying it out loud. Talking is for the purpose of communication. You're not doing that. You're just, every thought that's popping into your mind, you're saying out loud. That's how classrooms are now. That's why teachers can't do it. What do you do about that? It's like if a kid is defiant for a purpose, you can figure out the purpose and help the kid get fixed. If kids just think out loud nonstop, like it's just a horrific habit now because every moment of their life is a screen withdrawal detox just to be here in this analog, boring classroom, I can't compete with that. I can't compete with that. So they just think out loud, think out loud, think out loud. And you can get them in the rhythm of a lesson. I'm doing summer school right now. These are 10-year-olds. I normally teach middle school. I've been working with elementary for years, and I'm watching the changes every year. They're definitely harder this year than they were last year. Definitely. So teachers are leaving the field because we don't even know how to explain to you what's happening. There should be multiple adults in the room. And there should be a lot more things. The Chromebooks should never go home again. They should be in a cart in the room. Your kids, you take away your kids' devices and then your kids say, oh, but they don't know I still have my Chromebook. And all they do is they go on Safari, they type in funny videos, they hit enter, they get the link, they copy the link into a Google Doc, and you think they're doing homework and they're watching videos. So they're teammates.
Confession of a former teacher. I think one reason that people struggle to understand teaching is because they've never had to perform for 7 hours straight. And before someone gets mad, I'm not talking about acting. I'm talking about being on. You don't have a second to have a bad meeting and then shut your office door. You don't get to stare at your computer for 10 minutes to reset. You don't get to quietly have an off day because the second those kids walk in, you are on. Every question, every lesson, every transition, every interruption, every problem for 7 hours. And then people wonder why teachers are exhausted by June.
Teachers across the country are now warning people that parents are not parenting anymore, and it's having not only major implications in their classrooms, but it could have major implications for the workforce in the future. Let's talk about it. In this article by Newsweek, they state that teachers' frustrations are growing over student behavior and academic struggles, specifically the growing gap between classroom expectations and home support. According to this article, which Newsweek used over 800 comments and Reddit posts to write, they said that teachers are seeing a lack of basic skills in the classroom, something that we have talked about on this channel at length over the last 2 years. According to the article, teachers do not attribute this lack of skills to disabilities, but what they are seeing is a lack of reinforcement at home for academic habits and prioritizing schooling. According to Reddit comments sourced for this article, teachers say that students are also lacking basic social behavioral skills, things like empathy or the importance of staying in your seat and raising your hand. One teacher even wrote that she has a class of 6th graders who have absolutely no empathy. She said, quote, like I didn't think I'd have to ask the counselor to come in and talk to the students about them making fun of another student's recent loss of a family member.
Teachers are leaving education because parents don't take accountability. I'll say it again. Teachers are leaving education because parents don't take accountability. You can't discipline a child if every time you discipline the child, the parents give an excuse as to why the child's behavior is like that. Or imagine you discipline a child for misbehaving and you get into trouble. How does it work? How does it work? Are we literally raising criminals? Are we teaching our children that bullying other children are okay? Are we teaching children that disrespect is okay, not working in class is okay? How does that make sense? And I know lots of parents are going to come on here and say, yes, but my child was bullied by their teacher. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying all teachers are perfect. I'm not saying all children aren't perfect. What I'm saying is that somewhere along the line, we need to wake up and realize that teachers are leaving education because they can't do it alone. And they can't be treated horribly every single time they try and better a child. They try and make a difference. They can't. It's never going to work.
And lazy parenting is the reason why your kindergartner at 5 years old do not know their name, your name as a parent. They don't know their birthday. They don't know the days of the week. They don't know how to hold a pencil. They don't know A through Z. They don't know phonics. They don't know the basic numbers. They don't know anything because lazy parenting has just took over. Everybody's coming up with a hack. Here's a hack to get your child to do that. There's no hack to teaching children. You need to sit down and you need to be intentional about your children's education. That's it. And the basic essentials to a 5-year-old in kindergarten is their name, your name, their birthday, all those basic things. It's not too much. It's just y'all don't want to do enough. Everybody's looking for a hack. Everybody's looking for something for nothing. You're either going to put in the work to get your child the education and get them the head start that they need, or you're going to be forever yelling and screaming at your child because you're going to say, why are you not getting it? Because you did not give it to them. They can't get nothing you did not give. Malnourished educationally. All they watch is videos. You ain't even got no books in your house. If somebody offer your baby a book, you'll probably laugh and say, why are you giving them a book?
I've seen so many videos of teachers coming on here being like, your kids cannot read, they're failing open note tests. And everyone's talking about the kids, but no one's talking about the fact that the parents are illiterate too. When I said 60% of America is functionally illiterate, I was talking about the parents, not the children. Nowadays, the parents can't even help their kids with the schoolwork because the parents don't know it either. My mom was still in college while I was in middle school, and instead of her helping me with my work, I was helping her with her college work. So many kids have parents who cannot help them with their schoolwork. When a kid needs help, the first place they're going to go is to their parents. And when you have a parent who cannot help you, that is such a disadvantage.
When I was in elementary school and I used to hear kids say, oh, my mama held me back. Or, well, I'll be in the same grade as you. My mama didn't hold me back. I just think you're lying. Your mama didn't hold you back. That school held you back. They couldn't pass you. They couldn't. You're stupid. But now that I'm an adult, excuse me, I've actually heard parents say, like, no, I asked them to hold my child back. I had them hold my child back. Good. That makes a lot. That does make sense, actually. You knew that your child was not prepared for the 4th grade, so you held them back in the 3rd grade. I like that. Because there's a lot of parents who are just passing the child through. He can't read word for damn, but now he's in the 7th grade. Why? He should still be in the 4th. He really should. But you was too worried about him getting picked on and kids bullying him. All he need to do is do the work. Catch up. That's what he need to be worried about. That's what you need to teach your child to be worried about. You so worried about kids saying something to him because he got help behind. Are you worried about the adults that are going to say something to him when he can't read and they're in the same spaces and he got to operate like they do and he can't? Are you thinking about that? You're not.
These teachers leaving the profession, it really does get us to think, well, what's happening in the classroom? And what's happening at home as well, too? Because are the parents really helping out with some of the basics for these kids? Or are the kids bringing in all of these issues when they come to the classroom? Because if your child can't tie their shoes and they're in grade 5, grade 6, this could be an issue. If the kids aren't able to read and they're in grade 3, grade 4, this is also a problem because then this continues into high school as well, too. So the teachers, I think they're getting pretty kind of fed up with this effectively. So curious on what you think, and if any of this is sort of something that we can solve, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.